How do you feel about things that were said in that police report?
How do you feel about things that were said in that police report?
Man, you know, if Gilly would be so nice to just read some of this police report.
It's Polar! Welcome back. We find ourselves back at the round table with the Prince family discussing what happened to Takeoff in Houston. The Prince family damn sure didn't come to play. They got so many receipts, it's outrageous. And at this point, I can honestly say, I can't tell whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Only thing we know for sure is that Jay Prince came prepared for this interview, and it's about to be very evident. So we're gonna dive into the statements that Takeoff's shooter made after the situation went down, and actually gives us a lot of context into what we saw happen after Takeoff end up leaving the game. Let's dive right into it. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, smash that like button. Let's go.
It would be so nice to just read some of this police report. Just some of the things so the people won't think I'm making up words. You know, I think it'll be helpful.
All right, let me see. So, Willie Bland, who admitted to firing a weapon at the scene, he stated that he seen the two males he had identified as Joshua and Watkins throughout the evening, that he had seen them with guns. He believed that Joshua said something and began pulling the gun, so he reached and punched him. He thought that males were about to try and rob Quavo.
So he reached and punched him. He thought that males were about to try and rob Quavo.
Now, we can just stop right there.
So what was just read was the police statement that Takeoff and Quavo's boy made after the shooting. He makes it clear that he saw two guys with weapons throughout the day. And when the scuffle went down, he saw those two guys go for their weapon, which made him punch them to stop them from attacking Quavo and Takeoff. So one of the guys that he said that he saw is Lil Cam, which gives us context on why Lil Cam was picked up so quickly out of the group. Quavo's bodyguard / shooter made statements to the police telling them everything that he saw throughout the day, which led them to them.
Now, clearly, this Bland dude and gave a police report that he seen these two guys with guns earlier. But these the same two guys that he decided he was gonna punch with his gun out and hit them with a gun. What do you think gonna happen? You know what I mean? You seen these niggas with guns and you gonna hit them?
What do you think gonna happen? You know what I mean? You seen these niggas with guns and you gonna hit them?
Shout the season, man.
You know, these people, these same guys that he talking about, man, if any enemy would have came their direction, they'd have had some problems.
Now that statement right there is real heavy from Jay Prince. He's saying that earlier that day, they had guns on them to protect you from any harm coming your way. Then to turn around and tell on them is heavy. But I also feel Jay Prince on a protection measure. That's very logical thinking.
You tell a blatant lie about they getting ready to rob Quavo. And Lord knows if anybody, any of them people would have tried to rob or touch Quavo, it was gonna be some real problems. So that's just not true.
You want me to finish reading?
Yeah, might as well. Let's let them know how. This dude, here's what he doing, Gilly. This dude right here is running back in Atlanta, getting on the real niggas. So we have to get him $1 million worth of game. Let him know, now this is what he doing out here in Houston. Now if he running up under y'all, then and you embrace him, that's on y'all. But I can't hide it from him. I want him to know.
This gotta be a shot at Offset, letting Offset know you out there riding with a rat. So Jay Prince was already shooting slugs early in the interview.
And I know y'all them kind of people, so let's let them know.
He believed it was probably Cameron Joshua shooting at him, so he began shooting at Cameron Joshua. Video showed that Joshua ran back inside the bowling alley, but there is no video evidence showing him firing a gun.
So according to the police report, Cam was actually saved by the video footage that was caught on the bowling cam security footage. It showed him with a weapon, but retreating and not being the one actually firing his weapon.
That's when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right here?
Put my son's name in his mouth.
From right here?
This little piece of
It's this little piece of.
That's when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right here?
Let's go to part where he say who gave him a gun and all that kind of stuff.
Willie Bland further stated he initially obtained the gun that he discharged from Jazz Prince, who was hosting the group, including Willie Takeoff and Quavo, while they visited Houston. Willie stated that he had asked Jazz for a gun, and Jazz provided him with one that was in the truck.
Willie stated that he had asked Jazz for a gun, and Jazz provided him with one that was in the truck. Now listen at that.
Now this is where the game changes for me. It's one thing for you to make a statement about what happened when a situation got out of hand, but it's another thing for you to dive all the way back into something that really has no bearing on what's happening in the situation that we're in now. In this paperwork that Jay Prince brought with him, that he had his assistant print up, the police report is now stating that he even told that he got the weapon from Jazz Prince, who's not even a hands-on in the field kind of guy. He's more of an executive when it comes to the mob. Hell, he's the guy who signed Drake. So I'm not understanding where that's coming from out of Quavo and them camp. I'm not understanding that guy's move coming out of that camp. So I see a little eye to eye on Jay Prince on that one. But let's go.
Now listen at that. Now, Quavo, as I stated, is Jazz's brother. So of course, Jazz don't mind making sure, the homie got some heat, because we understand that what goes on, right? But now you got this clown, I don't know how it ended up in his hand, but it ended up in his hand. This clown is saying somebody want to rob him that gave him a gun. Why would you give a man a gun and try to rob him? Bust shots and ran to the airport and ran his ass back immediately. You know what I mean? He didn't care nothing about the homie Takeoff. As soon as he done that, he went straight to the airport and tore ass home. But I'm gonna leave you with all this paperwork, and you can look at it later on.
So I like how Dumb and Dumber, Gillian Wallow, got forced into kind of choosing the side. Jay Prince say, shit, you gonna take the meeting, then you gonna take all the paperwork behind the meeting too. So they were a little somber. Their tone was a little low because they're with a serious guy. And his son sitting there looking like a Muffet baby. Ain't took his eyes off his pop's glasses. I still can't fully call judgment on what I'm seeing with the Prince family. In one hand, I think it's a good thing to show up with all the facts. But on another hand, you kind of showed up with a lot of dirt. Seemed like you're trying to bury somebody. And sometimes the guilty party will show up a little more over-prepared. It's only one thing I know for sure at this point, is that it was foul for him to tell that Jazz Prince gave him a weapon to protect himself. That was uncalled for. Sound like Buddy might have been skitzing. Y'all get in the comment section and let me know. Smash that like button. We'll be right back with it. Let's go.
So much ice, I should've brought my fur. After the club, I might leave with her. Go tell your jury man to step it up. Cause them stones ain't bright.